become a very cliche word today. So much so कि आधे टाइम जैसे ही हम इस वर्ड को बोलना शुरू करते हैं, the mind just switches off. Right? We know generally ये किस डायरेक्शन में ये आगे बढ़ेगा. But let me tell you, boys and girls, that today's talk is not just going to be a ज्ञान सेशन. ये मेरी कोशिश रहेगी कि मैं आज के इस सेशन को आपके लिए जेंडर इक्वालिटी पे एक मास्टर क्लास बना सकूं, which is going to give the girls of today a direction. And not only girls, we are also going to have a way forward for the boys, because this generation has to go ahead together, hand in hand. So just be with me. And before I begin, हमारे शास्त्रों में एक श्लोक बहुत अच्छा कहा गया है. बालिका अहम बालिका, नवयुग जनिता अहम बालिका, नाम अबला ना दुर्बला, आदि शक्ति अंबिका. This truly summarizes the power that has been there. लेकिन आज जब हम बात करते हैं women empowerment की, we must know where we are coming from. और मैं बहुत पीछे नहीं जाऊंगी. I'll not take you back to Rigvedas or back to the ancient ages. Contemporary history. 1857 की लड़ाई से भी 85 साल पहले we had a woman warrior, Queen Velu Nachiyar. And this Queen Velu Nachiyar had her commander in chief as a woman called Quili. मैं चाहूंगी कि इस सेशन के बाद आप गूगल करें और क्वीली K-U-I-L-I, who was the commander-in-chief of Queen Velu Nachiyar, आप पढ़ें उनके बारे में. किस तरीके से वो अकेले बीड़ा उठाती हैं, अंग्रेजों के फोर्ट को जो उन्होंने क्वीन वेलू नेचियार से हड़प लिया था, उसे वापस लाने के लिए, अंग्रेजों के ऊपर एक वार करने के लिए, smeared her body with ghee, lit her body with a diya, and like a burning furnace she walked inside the godown where all the ammunition was kept. Queen Velu Nachiyar and Quili. Do Google these. Not now, afterwards. Kittur Rani Chennamma, warrior woman. Begum Hazrat Mahal. Who can forget the Battle of Chinhead? I will term her the warrior queen again. Rani Avantibai. She is often compared to Rani Jhansi. झलकारी बाई. रानी झांसी की कहानी पूरी है ही नहीं जब वो कहती है मैं अपनी झांसी नहीं दूंगी. This cannot be complete without झलकारी बाई. क्या आपने कभी माता भाग कौर के बारे में सुना है? 10,000 मुगलों के सामने बैटल ऑफ मुक्तसर में घोड़े के ऊपर सवार माता भाग कौर ने कितने हजारों मुगलों को मारा. Never forget, girls, where your DNA comes from. जब नवरात्रे आते हैं, हम देवी के 9 रूपों की पूजा करते हैं. My favorite is दुर्गा का वो रूप, and I will call her the actual दबंग goddess. शेर के ऊपर सवार आ रही है, राक्षसों को मारती काटती आ रही है. क्या पावर है उसमें. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु. हर एक शब्द में आपको अपने जेंडर की पहचान नजर आएगी. फीमेल बीइंग, सुप्रीम बीइंग. जब हमारे आजादी की लड़ाई चल रही थी, राम प्रसाद बिस्मिल की कहानी आप सबने सुनी होगी. सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना
बाजुए
कातिल में है। और जब अंग्रेजों ने उन्हें मारा, उनकी मां मूलमती डरी नहीं, आगे आकर खड़ी हुई और बोली, मैं अपना दूसरा बेटा इस देश को देती हूं। गर्ल्स, दैट इज वेयर योर डीएनए कम्स फ्रॉम। आजाद हिंद फौज, आजाद हिंद फौज का नाम सबने सुना है। रानी झांसी रेजिमेंट, सिर्फ यही नाम नहीं दिया, ऐसे ही नाम नहीं दे दिया। सेटल हो जाइए आप लोग। कैन आई जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट फॉर वाटर? सेटल डाउन, सेटल डाउन। गुड। रानी झांसी रेजिमेंट, आपको पता है कि नाम रानी झांसी रेजिमेंट क्यों रखा गया? किसी अंग्रेज ने एक बार सुभाष चंद्र बोस को कहा था, यदि रानी झांसी जैसी 100 औरतें भी इस देश में हो जाएं, तो अंग्रेज यहां टिक नहीं सकते। एंड दैट इज व्हाई ही रेज्ड दिस बटालियन ओनली फॉर वुमेन। ही वाज द फर्स्ट वन to make this whole army of women combatants, women warriors. Lieutenant Asha Sahai ने कहा था कि marching through the swamps and sweltering jungles with several kilos of military gear, ammunition, fighting fit and feastly singing, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, खुशी के गीत गाए जा, they gave deadly blows to the Britishers. क्या आप में से कभी किसी ने सरस्वती राजमणि की कहानी सुनी है? मात्र 15 साल की ये लड़की सुभाष चंद्र बोस की सेना के लिए स्पाई का काम कर रही थी। अंग्रेजों के कैंप्स के अंदर जाकर इंफॉर्मेशन लेकर आना, और जब पकड़े गए तो पीछे से अंग्रेजों ने उन्हें गोली भी मारी, रुकी नहीं। बहता रहा खून, रुकी नहीं। She gave all the information to our own army. Girls, that is where your DNA comes from. नूर इनायत अली खान, सहमत खान, जिनके ऊपर राजी पिक्चर बनी, कितने नाम लूं मैं। आजादी की लड़ाई औरतों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा मौका था, जब हमने अपना जलवा दिखाया, हमने अपनी हिम्मत दिखाई। राजी पिक्चर कितनों ने देखी है? क्या आपको पता है सहमत खान ने जो इंटेलिजेंस इकट्ठा करी, that saved our Indian naval ship Virat from being hit by Pakistan naval submarine Ghazi. बहुत बड़े बड़े काम किए आपके जेंडर ने। डरना नहीं कभी, भूलना नहीं कभी। आज जेंडर इक्वालिटी की बात शायद हमें करनी ही नहीं चाहिए थी। Over a period of time, especially after we got independence, somewhere the martial character, the warrior character of women got subdued. Why is it that we did not have girls in army after we got independence? I have no answer to that. 1993, when the first batch of women officers passed out from Officers Training Academy, a page turned over in the history. We were again wearing uniforms. Army, Navy, Air Force. Before this, we have seen CRPF. We have seen women in BSF. We have seen women being posted to Nastachan Pass and Sri Lanka. कितनों ने गुंजन सक्सेना मूवी देखी है? गुड। गुंजन सक्सेना was a daredevil pilot whose primary work was casualty evacuation during Battle of Kargil. How many of you have heard about squadron leader Minty Agarwal? Very good, but very few hands. अच्छा, अभिनंदन वर्तमान का नाम कितनों ने सुना है? क्या आपको पता है अभिनंदन वर्तमान की कहानी स्क्वाड्रन लीडर मिंटी अग्रवाल की कहानी के बिना अधूरी है? She was the fighter controller for not just Abhinandan Vartman, but for many planes that were on the air that night. Operation Balakot. She was the eyes and ears of all those fighter pilots. She was telling them, looking at the whole radar. She had the whole scene in front of her. कहां से पाकिस्तानी जहाज आ रहे हैं, कहां से हमारे अपने जहाज हैं, कौन सा जहाज कितने पास से निकल रहा है, whether to arm the missile or not, and if yes, which missile to be armed. And finally, she would give the choice of weapon to the pilot. And the pilot's role was just to lock, press the red button, and boom. So next time, when you hear the story of Abhinandan Vartman, do not forget squad leader Minty Agarwal. I am telling you all these things so you know that your DNA comes from warrior women. We have got 3 generals, women generals from Indian Army. And all 3 of them are from Medical Corps. I am waiting for a day, and God give me a life long enough to have my vision come true. I have a vision to one day see a whole squadron of Bhishma tanks being commanded and powered by women. I have a dream that one whole post of Siachen Glacier is being looked after by women soldiers and women officers. I have a dream that one day BrahMos and Pinakas are being guided by the women artillery officers and creating a fear in the hearts of the enemy. I have a dream that not only Shivani, but a whole generation of fighter pilots flies the Rafale squadron. I have a dream to see one day that the nuclear submarine of Indian Navy is being commanded by a woman naval officer. And that day is not far. That day is not far. But today when we speak of gender equality, when we speak of women, we must also think that why it is important for women to take the unconventional careers. Unconventional careers, very recently we would have a woman bus driver, we would have a woman Vande Bharat driver, we would have very rare sports journalists. Very unconventional careers. And remember, when you decide to take an unconventional career, and all those women engineers who are here today, I can see that there is a very less percentage. It is not a 50-50 ratio. One day, probably, we will see more women mechanical engineers. Well, when you take an unconventional career, you have to be very strong in character. You should be ready to face the rejection. Always remember, all the boys and girls, everyone who is sitting here, just know, जिंदगी में failure हमेशा ज़्यादा मिलेगा. Success will be far and few between. You will always have more failures. How you handle the failure, how resilient you are, how you learn from that, get up मूव ऑन. तो अगर आपने सपना बड़ा देखा है तो आपका फेलियर भी बड़ा होगा. सो सी अ बिग ड्रीम, फॉल बिग, गेट अप बिग, ड्रीम बिग, rise big, and don't just bounce back. Bounce forward. We are all seeing Asiads these days, the Asian Games that are going on. Anu Rani, the javelin gold medalist, when she wanted to go into this field, her family said, भैंस चरा ले पहले, भैंस लेकर जाओ और तालाब में भैंस को उसको दिन भर उसके साथ काम करो, वो है तुम्हारी जिंदगी. जैवलिन फेंकना तुम्हारी जिंदगी नहीं है. Anu Rani had to fight with her family, and finally when her family said yes, just see where she is today. So all the girls who are sitting here, you are all that rare population that has the whole support of their families. You are one of those rare ones whose families know the whole ecosystem of education. Well, gone are the days when teaching and nursing were the only preferred careers for women. Nowadays, even the sky is not the limit. Remember, when you choose a path that is less trodden, there will be difficulties, there will be challenges, there will be rejections. Be ready for that. Be ready for that. Life is not going to dish out easy for you. And let me tell you, personal example. The world wants you to fail. The world wants you to make a mistake. The world wants to challenge your very dream. लेकिन तुम्हारे अंदर जितनी आग है, that is going to propel you to take your dream forward. And needless to say, today's generation will become tomorrow's future. You are tomorrow's leaders. How we want women in the leadership positions. How we want women to be sitting on that boardroom and have a voice. Well, today as I see most of you here, I believe most of you are doing your BTech degrees. How many BTechs? Okay. How many other courses? Okay. So primarily undergrads. This is how you shape your life. Well, बहुत बात हम करते हैं unconventional career. Where is the barrier? What stops you? Why are we talking here today? And why is it a master class? The reasons for barriers are all historical. This is all based in our society. Can any one of you tell me the difference between sex and gender? Anyone? What is the difference between sex and gender? Well, your sex is whether you are a male or a female or another. And the gender is the role that this society gives you. Okay, anyone tell me the difference between diversity and disparity? Diversity is biological, natural. Disparity is the upbringing. लड़कियां ये नहीं कर सकती, ये काम लड़कियों का नहीं. That is what society decides for you. Diversity is natural, male, female, fine. But when society decides for you, what is your role? And that is when the women starts undervaluing themselves. शायद मैं ये काम ठीक नहीं कर पाऊंगी. How many of you begin a sentence by saying, I may be wrong, पर ऐसा मैं सोचती हूं. शायद मैं गलत हो सकती हूं, पक्का नहीं है, पर sorry. This is how you begin your sentences. Studies have proven that when you ask for a pay rise, the women are always hesitant. When you have to fill the job application, most of you feel that you do not meet the 100% job criteria. अभी होगा आपका, जब आप लोग आपके प्लेसमेंट्स में बैठोगे, आप बोलोगे, I don't meet 100% job criteria. And whereas the boys, even if they meet 60% job criteria, they will apply. Girls will keep looking for perfectionism. ना वो perfection आएगी, ना आप आगे बढ़ोगी और रोती रहोगी. Don't be a perfectionist. 100 में से 80% भी ठीक होता है. Move on in life. जब तक मैं बिल्कुल सही ना कर दूं, तब तक मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ूंगी. By that time, the world has moved on with more confidence. And remember in life, confidence and competence both are important. You know, girls have been very far behind in this psychological war zone of their minds. कि खाली चेकलिस्ट पे सब कुछ टिक करते जाना ही मेरी कॉम्पिटेंस है. And when you are asked a question, you know all the answers, but you are quiet. You don't have confidence. And not only in Viva, you will take it to your boardrooms. You will sit there when this whole conference is taking place, when people are asking, what is your view? And you will be the one who will be quiet, thinking, what if I make a fool of myself? अगर मैंने सही नहीं बोला तो सब मेरे ऊपर हंसेंगे. Mind you, girls, you are not facing rejection here. You are only fearing the response that others will give you when your rejection is highlighted. Don't let it affect you. There are many things you can learn from boys. This is one of them. थोड़ा जिंदगी को आराम से लेके चलो. Just let yourself breathe. I am mother to 2 sons, so I know exactly. And one of them engineer, so I know exactly. मम्मा इतने तो डिटॉल कीड़े नहीं मारती जितने ये लड़कियां नंबर लेकर आ जाती हैं. So my heart is with boys because I see my son in all of them. And so then I tell girls, you need to loosen up a bit. You need to understand that world does not move only on competence. The world moves on confidence. When you sit in your placements, you only have to tell the person how right you are for this job. आपको कितने चीजें बाय हार्ट याद है उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. What value you can add, how relevant is your study to the actual working of that organization, only that you have to tell. So work on your skill sets, work on your communication skills, work on your confidence. Make yourself your own hallmark, your own chandelier. When you do a work, people should say, इससे बेहतर तो कोई कोई दूसरा कर ही नहीं सकता था. That should be your stamp. बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातों में नहीं जाना है जेंडर इक्वालिटी में. When we speak of gender equality, people always highlight women, put them on a pedestal. No. No. This is language of equality. And if you want to be equal, you have to learn to walk on the sharpest edge of the knife. Never expect anything purely on the merit of your being a woman. Take the opportunity, make it your own, and move. Do you know, women are always preferred by any organization when the hiring takes place. Because women are less likely to switch jobs in the same fast pace as the boys. Women are more loyal to organization. My son changed 17 jobs in 5 years after engineering. Second year engineering, he said, I don't want to become an engineer. What do you want to do, son? I want to do BA Political Science, mom. Now the only thing I could tell him was, you have already given 2 years to engineering. Give it 2 more, get it over with. And then you do your MA Political Science. I knew his mind is not there. But he still completed it. And then he said, I will always be an engineer by degree, never by a profession. But one thing engineering has taught me, and that is your life lesson. He said, one thing engineering has taught me, and that is how to survive. Put me in any situation, I will survive. I will deliver. These 4 years for boys and for girls, these 4 years are your life. Do as many internships as you can. Different, varied. Sales bhi karo, marketing bhi karo. Your own professional things you do. आपके कॉलेज फेस्ट होते हैं, फोटोग्राफी भी करो. डिजिटल मार्केटिंग सीखो. टाइम मिलता है तो शेयर मार्केट की ट्रेडिंग भी सीखो. सब कुछ करो. You are at a golden age. Well, 5 years, 17 jobs down the line. Yesterday he got placed as global lead OnePlus for strategic partnerships. And mind you, this is the only job of telecom he is doing. इससे पहले उसने Swiggy, Better Half, Shadi.com सबके साथ काम किया. Learn. Why I'm sharing this story with you? When you are studying, you are जैसे घोड़े दौड़ते हैं ना, जब आप अपने यहां पर दोनों तरफ वो लगा लेते हो बाइंडर्स. Just open it. The world is here. You are at an amazing facility. Learn what the world is giving you. Embrace it with open arms. Move on ahead. When you move on to a male-dominated world, you will have many challenges. The society is going to put challenges on you. You are going to be given the tasks that are traditionally women. There will be confusion in your mind. Society has given certain work ethos to women. Calm, quiet, warm, gentle. Then people will feel she is only fit for HR. You will say, no, I want finances. I want to design